Alright, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Who knows when this is coming out. This is Week 8, Town of Salem 2, the Ranked Practice tier list. We're just going to get into it. There are some changes, alright. Obviously, Pestilence got reworked quite a bit. War's gotten reworked since the previous. We are Trickster in the back. No need to worry. Probably not going to have anything fun happen. But there's a tier list. I have condensed it quite a bit. We're getting into kind of the main meta until they just completely rework roles. Like they reworked Plague Bearer yesterday. We are going to Trick 5. So, you get a second to kind of look at that while I throw up Trickster. Alright. So, I'm starting to decide that maybe, first off, this might be the last weekly tier list, and we might go to a monthly tier list after this. So next week might be the tier list for July, per se. And then I'm going to come up with some different systems for how to rank this. I was witched and silenced. Rude. It's like they want me to do the video. There we go. Witched and silenced. And that isn't. So there's Coven Leader as well. So there's Coven Leader, Voodoo Master, Witch, by the way. Just put that in your head. Alright, so let's look at this. In F tier, Tavern Keeper and Poisoner have dropped. You could still say they're D tier. If D- was a D tier or F plus was a tier, I would put them there. However, not being able to roll block War is a problem now. Because War is just so good at getting kills. And Berserker generally isn't the first thing that people try and get out. So, Tavern Keeper and Poisoner have been dropped to F tier. It's not like you can... I mean, they got nerfed. Let's just put it straight. They got nerfed with the War deal. Amnesiac, Sheriff, Investigator, Dreamweaver, Baker still all down there. Baker change may be coming soon. Probably not, because Baker's a fine role. It just, in a fast-paced game that you don't know who's dying, it's really hard to throw that up. D tier Crusader's been dropped down to D tier. And Soul Collector and Shroud are back down to D tier just because C- doesn't exist anymore and those three roles were there. Coroner's also down there for the same reason. Yeah, Coroner got the buff it needed. Well, you know, C and B now have the biggest lots of deals. C, pretty much everything that you would expect. And C, I could even argue that Trickster could be B, or Hexmaster might be B2. Other than that. And I think it's funny that Werewolf kind of got worse with the nerf. So. We're gonna... Nope, there's no reason to do that. We will Trick 5 again. Werewolf kind of got, with the tracking ability, kind of got a little worse, because, yeah. Obviously, Tracker got worse. We discussed that last week. A lot of the Coven kind of plopping in there, because B- isn't a thing anymore. Plague Bearer has jumped up. Oh, Plague Bearer got exactly what Plague Bearer needed. That was... If you could make a buff buff to Plague Bear to make it not broken but perfectly balanced, they did it to Plague Bear. And I think that's a good thing. Or I guess the word I want to... That is exactly what Plague Bear needed. Then you get to A tier. Jailer's been dropped down because Jailer just dies to war now. and gets doused by Arsonist. I have to immediately claim Trickster. So Jailer's down in A. Everything else, pretty... Medusa in ranked practice is really good. Medusa in all any isn't as good. Who's pushing this, by the way? I need to double check that. Get to 1, so I need to go visit 1. There we go. Berserker, I just talked about how good War is, and people are not... So... One of the reasons that I liked the buff to Plague is people would just ignore Plague Bearer until they turn into Pestilence. Oh, okay. So with Plague Bearer, you have to push it. Same thing with Berserker. You need to find Berserker badly because War is hard to beat. Not 1. Cool. And then the S tier is still the same group. Lookout. Prosecutor, Conjure, Potion Master, Jester. Jester might be dropped to A tier, might not. So, 1 was Jailer. Rep Jailer, I guess. 11 Corner, 3 Monarch. That is all on my side of the field. Again, so I'm going to throw some all-any stuff at you. 12 innocent. 10 silenced. I'm going to throw some all-any stuff at you. War, S tier. Pirate, B tier. That's going to screw up that, but that's okay. Death, B tier. Famine, D. Pestilence, I'm going to say A. So if we wanted to make it an all-any, that's what the all-any would look like. I will, because I'm going to use it as a thumbnail. Boom. There's a rolls tier list. That's all. You'll get to see the rest of the match. Probably going to be a full July tier list that originally is not might not be this tier list. It might be this tier list. We might say this is the July tier list and call it spots for there. So that's all. Different thumbnail probably for this because I'll switch to whatever tier list thumbnail we go with. That's all. We will. I'm just gonna flat. Who do we go with? Let's go 7. Who's quiet? Before I stop, I want to see who's quiet. Let's go 7 because they claim TI and have done diddly squat.